Over many years of bikepacking, I've realised that most people fall into one of two camps. You either pack the kitchen sink and you value comfort over practicality, or you're obsessed with weight and you want to make things as light and as minimal as possible. And this stove is suited to the latter, people who want to make their setups as lightweight and as minimal as possible. This is the FeatherLight 700 from Wildside Adventures, a small company based up in Scotland. And with many of us using the likes of Jetboil or MSR stoves, I really wanted to showcase this product because chances are you've never heard of it. The company was founded by Timo and Sebastian, who has his own outdoors wild camping YouTube channel, which I'll leave a link for in the description. And although a lot of hikers and wild campers have been using this for a while, from what I've seen, it doesn't look like anyone in the bikepacking community has really caught on to this. Let me run you through it and let's start with the basics. Firstly, this is an alcohol stove, not a gas stove, meaning that you have to carry your liquid alcohol with you, and there's a little pot for that in here. There are many pros and cons to using different types of stoves, and I won't go into too much detail about that now, but one thing I really like about alcohol stoves is they are completely silent, dead quiet. So if you're wanting to do a little bit of cooking out in nature, a bit like me where I like to just sit and listen to the sounds of nature by a loch somewhere when I'm camping, this is ideal for that. It's a really clever design. Everything you need is in this pot. So you have the titanium pot with a lid. It has a little bag that comes with it, which is pretty nice. And inside here is the whole stove. First thing in there is some foil. That doesn't come with the stove, but the reason for that will be clear later in the video. Inside though, you have a very thin titanium cone, which I'll assemble. I'll show you that in a second. A little pot to carry extra alcohol, and the stove itself. This is the alcohol stove. You just unscrew that and we light that. I'll show you what to do in a second. And then I've just packed a lighter to get it going. That's everything you need. The pot itself is titanium, comes with some handles and the lid of course as well. It holds 700 ml, so that's plenty for a couple of cups of tea or a dehydrated meal, which is what you would be using this stove for. So let me show you how it works. It comes with two incredibly thin pieces of titanium, and these slot together to make a cone shape, which is the stove and where the pot sits on when you're cooking. Let me show you how easy it is to assemble. So once you've made these two pieces up, it's just a case of slotting them together. It's pretty straightforward. It does take a little bit of practice. You just got to go over and under with these pieces here. It may take you a few times. I know it did for me. And there you go. Super simple. So this is it when it's assembled. As you can see, it's got holes all the way around it to allow ventilation to get air in, and the pot fits absolutely perfectly in just like that. It hangs on the lip and the handles stick out just there. It's this meticulous level of attention to detail that makes this system one of, if not the lightest in the world. The windbreaker and everything that you need in this pot, including fuel, will weigh 150 grams or less, depending on how much fuel you take, which is just absolutely bonkers. And that's 100 grams less than my phone, and I don't even notice that. And finally, this is the spirit burner, the alcohol stove. All you need to do is unscrew. It's got a little mesh in there. As you can see, I've been using it quite a bit. It's starting to get a bit dirty, it needs a clean. But this is where you put your alcohol. Fill it up right to the top, light it, and away you go. So what is the foil for? I've packed this because this does get quite hot. The way that it's designed is to keep as much heat in as possible, and as a result it can leave a bit of a scorch mark on the earth if you're not careful. So by carrying this with you, you can put that down as like a heat-proof mat.
It's really not complicated. You just need to add the alcohol into the stove, light it, and wait a second just to make sure it is burning, because it's quite difficult to see sometimes. Put the windbreak on if you haven't already, and then add your pot on top with the water already in it, before finally adding the lid. It really is as simple as that.
As you probably know, alcohol as a fuel tends to be less efficient than gas, so it does take a little bit longer to boil the water. But this was about 7 or 8 minutes. Wildside have quoted 9 minutes. It really doesn't take that long. As you can see, it's proper hot now. And to put it out, all you need to do is blow. Simple.
Who is this stove for? If you're like me and tend to eat only dehydrated foods and drink tea or coffee on a short to medium bikepacking trip, and you're conscious of weight, this is for you. If you prefer lots of cooking options and are planning on doing a week to 2 week plus long tours away from civilization, then the amount of fuel you'd need here would counteract the stove's lightness. And in that case, you'd be better off going for a gas stove.
So that's it, that's the FeatherLight 700 from Wildside Adventures. It is a cracking piece of equipment and it's beautifully engineered. You can really see the attention to detail in it. If you're after an ultralight cooking system, you really can't do any better than this. It's just bonkers how light it is. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.